Hello and welcome to all the men and women of the West. I'm Joe, and today I'm going to be reading an article. I thought this was really cool and really interesting. It was published on January 19, 2023, and I know it's by now not exactly old, but it's old news in a way. But I thought this was a really interesting article, and it gave interesting insight into the 1982 movie and what it might have been. But that said, time to get through it. So we have Cocaine the Barbarian. Is that supposed to be a play on Conan the Barbarian? Okay. Olivier Stone's drug-fueled 4-hour Conan epic that never was. And you have this picture of Conan, I guess, with very bushy eyebrows. Okay. Other than this and a helmet here, if they had removed that and we got to see his full head, I'd probably be more taken with the picture. But not that I'm not. But anyways, 40 years ago, the unlikely career of then bodybuilding champion Arnold Schwarzenegger went off with a bang in the Conan the Barbarian 1982, based on Robert E. Howard's character of the same name from the 1930s pulp magazines. Arnold's epic sword and sorcery film was helmed by writer-director John Milius, the militant filmmaker best known for writing the Oscar-nominated screenplay Apocalypse Now for fellow movie brat Francis Ford Coppola. But in the end, Milius would share a co-screenwriting credit on Conan with Oliver Stone. I forgot about Oliver Stone co-writing it. Cool. Stone penned an earlier draft in 1978 as the first of several studio assignments that would one day feel out of step with the politically charged writer-director the world would soon celebrate for films like Platoon 1986, Wall Street 87, Born on the 4th of July 89, and JFK 1991. Okay, he's politically charged. Okay, I'm not sure what... I just thought Oliver Stone just made a lot of historic stuff. And that he was a pretty good director. I wasn't aware of any kind of... Okay, I don't know what his politics are. So I'll have to take a look at that later. I don't know anything about him. I don't typically know anything about a lot of Hollywood people. Anyone who knows this channel knows I'm not terribly sharp on that one. I'm not very witty when it comes to that. At the time, his Conan the Barbarian script was titled simply as Conan. But the title is just about the only thing simple about this early draft. Yeah. Stone's Conan was a studio executive's worst nightmare. The script called for a nearly 4-hour runtime. That would have been awesome. Epic battle sequences, countless extras, live animals, excessive costumes and props, and one expensive set piece after another. His vision was doomed to be rewritten for budgetary constraints. However, seemingly none of this entered into Stone's thinking at the time as he wrote his script, while under the influence of cocaine and downers, and it shows. Okay, Charles Bronson was originally the front runner to star as the titular Barbarian, but after watching a rough cut of docudrama Pumping Iron, the original Conan producers, Edward Pressman and Edward Summer, okay, the two Edwards, knew they had found their man with a godlike body that won him the Mr. Olympia bodybuilding competition 6 years in a row. Oh, that's pretty impressive. Schwarzenegger embodied Conan as close as humanly possible with his long brunette hair and leather headband. He looked as if he had stepped right off the pages of the Marvel Comics run from the 1970s. Well, I'm not so sure. But maybe, I guess. I guess he looks quite a bit like Conan. I just never really thought about it too much. There was one little snag. Well, real quick. I just imagined that one image. I'll have to probably insert it into this video. And about Conan with the sword over his shoulder. like that image. That's how I imagine Conan. So, yeah. Although the movie's great. I love the movie. No one doubted he had the look, but many involved in the project had their reservations about Arnold's molasses thick Austrian accent. At the time, it seemed to Schwarzenegger that all of Hollywood shared this cold apprehension and whatnot. Yeah. Luckily, there were a few players in Hollywood. Okay. I'm just going to skip ahead because, okay. Yeah, it's Schwarzenegger's life story, and I'm not here to read that part of this article. Yeah, okay, so he was asked to read some lines from Marvel's Conan comics. Why not some of the actual lines from the short story? I'm just saying. Now, apparently, it's a safe bet that that fans of Milius's finished film would jump at the chance to hear Arnold deliver some of Stone's corniest lines. Imagine that heavy Austrian accent dropping a line like the one on page 111 of Stone's screenplay. I was born in the battlefield. The first sound I heard was a scream. That's pretty corny. I'll have to actually find the script and read it myself. Imagine delivery of the line on page 130 when, in the midst of the film's final battle, his love interest and blonde female warrior, Valeria, slays a pig mutant. What? Stone's script has plenty of those. What? Pig mutants? With her sword in a magnificent arc and says to her with eyes blazing with attraction. I can't think of anyone I'd rather call that. Yeah, I can't say this word because YouTube. With, you're a liar and you're beautiful. That actually sounds like something Conan would say, one of his pickup lines. But, yeah, I'm not sure it would translate well on film, I guess. Maybe in an animated film. But animated films are just different beasts entirely. And we get this. Let's see. Milius gave the Austrian actor just enough ridiculous dialogue to draw eyebrows from film critics. Such as this line. How is it ridiculous? I mean, this was an actual line from Genghis Khan. I don't get it. How's it ridiculous? Okay, what's ridiculous to me are the pig mutants. For his plot, Stone took cues from Howard's early Conan stories like the novella A Witch Shall Be Born, 1934, and the short story Black Colossus, both of which were published in the pulp fiction magazine Weird Tales. Yeah, they were really good. A lot of those stories. I love Howard. Anyways. Stone's Conan screenplay is set in a post-apocalyptic future. What? Wherein Conan leads an army in an epic battle against a 10,000-strong horde of half-human, half-animal, half-human mutant. Okay, that is weird. Where did he get these ideas? That's dumb. And I can't believe I'm saying that about Oliver Stone. He's usually a pretty good director or writer or whatever. Sure, I don't like his Alexander movie, but that one's an odd man out. And that movie actually has a lot of great stuff in it. Even though I don't think it's a great movie, but there's still some great stuff in it. Okay, I really gotta read this. Wow. Wow. I don't know what else to say about this. I honestly don't. While Stone's script also opens with the raid on young Conan's village, like Milius's, it is not Thulsa Doom who is responsible for the death of his family. Okay, Stone's script is not really a tale of revenge like Milius's, but rather Conan's rise from slavery to leading a band of mercenaries in a ravaged army into an epic climactic battle. No, I actually like the revenge story. Milius described Stone's early draft as a total drug fever dream. He wasn't kidding. When Stone was asked by Total Films about how he quit cocaine before attacking his next script, Scarface, which would be directed by Brian De Palma in 1983, Stone said, I wanted to get even with cocaine because it expletive, kicked my expletive. I wasn't deeply into it, but enough that I wanted my money back. Laughs. I had been hooked for a year or two and I decided to kick it. And I moved to France, which was the best thing I ever did. I cut all my connections to LA, had a new life, and wrote Scarface in an apartment in Paris. I wrote it straight, which was good because I don't think cocaine helps writing. It's very destructive to the brain cells. I think my writing was getting shallower. Oh, well, good for him. No, that's good for him. That's actually an impressive story. Maybe someone should write a biopic of just this time of his life. You can include a lot of France. I love La France, the homeland of my ancestors. And you could show. Oh man, sorry. This is inspiring, and it's very true that it's not good for your brain cells. Over excessive booze and any amount of drugs just destroys your brain cells. So good for Oliver Stone. Good for him. Okay, this entire thing. Look, I'm not gonna read this because it's just too weird, and I honestly don't know what to make of it. Like a drug dream. It certainly sounds like it. What do you take when you get? What do you get when you take inspiration from Pulp Fiction fantasy tales, Hieronymus Bosch's apocalyptic paintings, William Blake's poetry, Marvel Comics, the real-life voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and of course a lot of cocaine. A script that feels like it was written by someone on cocaine. Yeah. And Stone's awkward use of poetic prose in the screenplay runs even deeper than just Blake. On page 45, when Conan fights a giant serpent, Stone references Dante's Inferno by literally inserting a quote from the 14th century epic poem. That actually sounds kind of cool. Weirdly enough, I think that actually sounds kind of cool. There is perhaps no better example of his excessive descriptions and fixation with drugs, live animals, part animal, prosthetics, and countless extras. When a beggar who hunts big rats similar to the rodents of unusual size from The Princess Bride in underground tunnels has agreed to show Conan a hidden entrance to a palace filled with... Wow! Wow! I don't know what to say. Like, wow. Just... It is so weird. It would have cost a fortune. Oh, why? Had it been attempted, it would have been around 3 to 4 hours long, and with the insanely large battle sequence set pieces, it would have easily cost more than twice its $20 million budget at the time. Even Stone admitted to Total Film that it would have probably cost upwards of $50 million to bring his coked out vision to the screen. And Stone had a vision of 12 Conan movies like a Bond series, where Schwarzenegger would return every few years for another installment. Now, although his weird vision was for a film was really weird, this was not a bad idea. Now, had it been something like Phoenix on the Sword, followed by, I don't know, or maybe starting with Tower of the Elephant, Phoenix on the Sword, or, you tell one short story as 1 3 to 4 hour film or something, a piece out of this 12 movie saga, and I think that would be a great idea. I think that could work for Conan, and I think even in today's atmosphere it could earn millions, if not hundreds of millions, and I think it would be a great success. If only someone was to jump on this and say, we need our 12 Conan movie franchise. And of course, Dino De Laurentiis got it. A director, I think, or a producer, I mean, who only... I got mixed feelings about Laurentiis. A lot of good came out of his productions, but a lot of bad too. But that's with any movie production crew. And of course, John Milius was hired to rewrite the screenplay, and he did a great job. But tell me what you think of this entire weird, coked out idea of a screenplay. Was this an interesting article for me to read? Do you like this video? Tell me in the comment section. And don't forget to smash that like and that subscribe button as though you were Conan and Zenobia taking down their enemies.